It's Thursday, and you know what that means. We're back for another episode of The Garden. I'm so glad that you're here. A couple things. Number one is the wrong scripture was mentioned last week. Um, we kept saying Galatians 28, and I don't know if you looked it up, but you would quickly realize that there's not even 28 chapters in Galatians. So, what we were meaning to say was Deuteronomy 28, verses 1 through 14. So I apologize for that. We were not trying to mislead you, and I just wanted to set that straight. We meant Deuteronomy 28, 1 through 14, not Galatians. Okay, so I also wanted to remind you guys of the giveaway that's still currently going on. I was going to end it today at midnight, but I think I'm going to extend it till next week. You can enter by liking, commenting, sharing. Each one is an entry. And if you liked or shared, just comment on this episode and let me know so that I can count you in the giveaway and get you entered. You can also enter on Instagram. You have the opportunity to win an ESV journaling study Bible, highlighters, pens, a journal, and a Walla water bottle, and a $25 Starbucks gift card. So you don't want to miss the chance to get in on that, okay? Like, comment, share. All of it is an entry. You just have to comment. Well, you have to comment regardless and let me know that you did that so that I can get you entered. And then you can also enter on Instagram. So don't miss the opportunity. Next Thursday will be the deadline. Okay? Okay. All right. So for today's episode, I wanted to give you some encouragement if you are exhausted but still in pursuit. I felt like this was a really timely message. My pastor talked about the story that I'm going to talk about today a couple months ago in our staff meeting, and like I said, I just felt that it was really timely. I know that I needed the reminder, and I know some people close to me that need the reminder as well. So we're going to talk about Judges 8, 1 through 5. And it says, Then the men of Ephraim said to him, What is this that you have done to us, not to call us when you went to fight against Midian? And they accused him fiercely. And he said to them, What have I done now in comparison with you? Is not the gleaning of the grapes of Ephraim better than the grape harvest of Abiezer? God has given into your hands the princes of Midian, Oreb, and Zeb. What have I been able to do in comparison with you? Then their anger against him subsided, and he said this. And Gideon came to the Jordan and crossed over, he and the 300 men who were with him, exhausted yet pursuing. So he said to the men of Succoth, Please give loaves of bread to the people who follow me, for they are exhausted, and I am pursuing after Zebah, Zalmunna, and the kings of Midian. So Gideon has led Israel to victory, but the pursuit of the enemy isn't over. They were exhausted, but still in pursuit. We can often find ourselves in a season of breakthrough in the midst of things we've prayed for and still find ourselves drained. And so there's some key points that I kind of want to just break down the scripture. And the first point I want to make is that exhaustion doesn't mean failure. They were exhausted and still moving forward. Galatians 6:9 says, And let us not grow weary of doing good, for in due season we will reap if we do not give up. Weariness does not disqualify the reward. Even when we're doing the right thing, we still get tired because we're human. Exhaustion doesn't mean failure. And I want to look at God's consistency. The same God who moved through Gideon will move through us. The God of Gideon still strengthens his people. He's still the same. And we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. Sometimes the pursuit is part of the promise. And just because it's hard does not mean that God's not in it. The Jordan symbolizes transition, boundary, next level. You might be right at the edge of something, but you're worn down. This crossing point you might be at gets you one step closer to the destination. Proverbs 16:9 says, "The heart of man plans his way, but the Lord establishes his steps." And as I was reading it and thinking how sometimes we get caught up in how many hurdles are ahead of us, how sometimes we look at all the things we're going to have to go through to get to where we want to be, and we try to plan out the whole way. But God already did. And you just have to take the steps. You just got to follow Him and put one foot in front of the other. When everyone is telling you to look at the bigger picture, I'm telling you to look at God. He is the bigger picture. He already planned the whole way. All He's asking you to do is take the steps in front of you. Yes, there are going to be hurdles. There is going to be Jordans that you have to cross. But try not to look at how big the hurdle is, how long across the Jordan it is. Just take the steps and follow God and look at Him. He is the bigger picture, and He's going to lead you through it. Another thing is I want to look at Gideon's leadership. One thing I love about Gideon's leadership is that he doesn't scold the men for being tired. He acknowledges their need and asks for bread. Similarly, God also gives grace for the weary and provision in the pursuit. We can be tired but still called. All these great things were happening, yet they were still tired. Just because you're in a fruitful or victorious season doesn't mean you're immune to the exhaustion that it may cause. We're not robots, we're vessels. And with that, I want to ask you some questions. And this is going to be a shorter episode, but it's really not that complicated. Because I just want to give you some encouragement and I want to ask you some questions. What's an area in your life where you're exhausted but need to keep pursuing? Again, I'll mention Galatians 6:9. Let us not grow weary of doing good, for in due season we will reap if we do not give up. My next question is, have you been waiting for the fight to be over before you rest? Matthew 11:28 says, "Come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." He just said, "Come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." He didn't say when you could come to Him. He just says, "Come at any point in time and let Him refill you. Let Him pour into you." Are you giving yourself grace to stop and eat when needed? 1 Kings 19:7 says, "Arise and eat, for the journey is too great for you." Arise and eat, for the journey is too great for you. You are not supposed to take this on alone, and you don't have to. There are surely people in your life who are supporting you and cheering you on, who are going through their own battles, but if they're not, God is. He knows that you can't do it by yourself. He knows that you need to take a break. He knows that you need rest. He knows that at the end of the day, you are human. Make sure you're eating. Make sure you're resting physically and spiritually. Make sure that you're getting fed. Because if you do not feed yourself, you will not be able to finish the race. You'll be crawling across that finish line instead of running if you make it. And I'm sure I could probably speak for you when I say that we all want to run with endurance. We all want to finish the race strong. But if you are not mindful of your state, and if you do not take care of yourself, if you're not resting, if you're not stopping to eat, if you're not taking in the word, whatever you have to do to fill your cup, you can't pour from an empty cup. It does not work. Simply impossible. Do you trust that God sees your weariness and will honor your perseverance? Hebrews 6:10 said, "For God is not unjust so as to overlook your work and the love that you have shown for his name in serving the saints as you still do." He sees you. He sees you exhausted but still in pursuit. The journeys are long. The races are long. But there's purpose in it. Most battles don't have a timeline. But again, we're not running alone. There's purpose in your pursuit, and God is with you in it. I just wanted to give you that encouragement today. I know that there are people listening who are in the midst of college classes, and that degree seems so far away. I know people who are in jobs that are not their end goal, they're just bridges, and getting over that bridge seems so far away. I know a lot of people who are exhausted, but still in pursuit. And in that, I want to encourage you that you are not alone, that there is purpose in it, that God is with you in it, that your pursuit can be part of the promise. And I also want to encourage you in the fact of making sure that you are taking care of yourself. That weariness does not mean failure. Exhaustion does not mean failure. But you cannot finish this race strong if you do not take care of yourself. And yes, spiritually, but also if you're not sleeping, if you're not eating. Your body needs those things for a reason. It says man was not designed for the Sabbath, but Sabbath was designed for the man because man needs it. I love you guys so, so much. And I want nothing more for you than to finish this race strong. To run across that finish line with your hands held high. And I want you to know that I am cheering you on every step of the way. You got this. I know you can do it. And God's got you. Lean on Him. Go to Him. All who are weary and heavy laden, and He will give you rest. Spend time in His Word. Don't get too consumed with the bigger picture, with all the bridges and Jordans and hurdles in front of you. Just take the steps. Don't worry about the person next to you's race, how fast they're running it. Keep your eyes forward and up, looking at God and where He has you. Because your race is not theirs, and it was never meant to be. And I think someone needs to know that too. Don't be discouraged where God has you. Don't think that it doesn't mean that you don't have purpose just because you are not reaching the same goals that they have, that they are, the same things that they are. Just because you're at a different point in life does not mean that your point is any less significant. I hope that this is encouraging to you guys today. And I hope that you can just take a deep breath. I hope that you go to God with all your exhaustion, with all your weariness, that you take time to feed yourself physically and spiritually. And I hope that you can finish out the rest of this day and wherever God has you right now, a little lighter, knowing that there's purpose in the pursuit. And exhaustion does not mean failure. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I hope you have a great rest of your week. Don't forget to enter into the giveaway. Like, comment, share. You know the drill. I will see you guys next week. Bye.